It's time for war. Yes, ladies and gents, that is me trying to sound like Jeremy Clarkson. No copyright intended, but that is the most serious voice that comes to mind. All joking aside, it's been 4-0 carp on my latest carp fishing sessions, and it's time to get serious. Hello my carp fishing friends, I hope we're all lovely jubbly. You join me here today for a 24-hour sesh on B-Pit at Broom Pits. Now this is the first night I'll be doing on this pit. I fished a pit on the feeder for bream before, but haven't targeted the big carp that reside in here all too often. I've done a couple of day sessions and the closest I've came to a carp was when I was having a pee break and my rod absolutely ripped off, and that was over at a swim called Twat in the Hat. I don't think it was called that then, but it certainly is now. And I was a twat in a hat without the hat, because I was having a pee up by the fence and I had to slide down the bank. It's a high steep bank there, and I missed the run. Always the way, isn't it, guys? You're busy doing something. You've been watching your rods for hours on end. You turn your back and bang, it's like they know. Anyway, enough of the jokes, it's time to talk. So, I've walked around, I didn't mean to get in front of the screen there. As you can probably tell, I'm doing a voiceover because I don't believe in being too noisy carp fishing. So, and obviously the people that have paid good money to fish, I think, we should try and show some decency where we can. Anyway, before my booty interrupted the screen, I was going to tell you I spent a good hour and a half walking around this absolutely stunning pit, and I talked to people. Some people had been on since the weekend and the signs weren't looking good. There was a couple of fish out over the weekend, but that's about it. However, I did not let that deter me. I just want to shout out to the guy that was over on the swim by the gate. Excuse me, I don't know all the peg names. If you ever watch this, bud, really appreciate your advice, because I walked around the whole pit and he said some good swims, and I walked right round the corner where it bottlenecked and was going to fish the toilet swim, or I believe the shallows, but they'd set crayfish traps just round the corner from this swim to the left, as you can see, and the owner or the owner's helper come over, one of the bailiffs I believe, and said, look mate, we're doing a lot of work up here, there's a lot of disturbance, which there was. I'll give him his due, and the cray traps there, probably not going to be a good place to fish. So there's me all sweaty, took my gear around and decided to revert back to this swim. But hey, good bit of exercise, you got to look at the positives. But no, really appreciate the advice from the guy that, if you ever watch this, from the guy at the front there. Ended up on what they call the steps. I've seen some real good videos. Shout out to the Bucket Boys if you ever watch this, because I've watched your videos time and time again, and you make it look so easy on here, guys. Seriously, like, what? Anyway, stop babbling. So we've got two rods out there. They're both over the edge of a gravel bar. Decided to fish over the edge of it. And it did spom out a good amount of bait as well, sort of 10 spoms of pellet and hemp and crushed boilie, and got some active boilies, some active krill boilies, crushed them up too, put them in the mix. Forever hopeful. Got a range of bottom baits and pop-ups and wafters to try. So let's see. I actually had the pleasure of meeting Tom, the owner of this complex, and what a great guy. We had a real long chat, not only about this complex and what it holds, but fishing in general. So Tom, if you ever watch this, top man, really appreciate what you've done for me there. Absolute legend. Hope to see you again soon. One thing I must say about this complex, if you ever come, there's not one grumpy bailiff. Everyone wants to help you. Everyone wants to see a carp on the bank. Now, as a business sense, yes, you could argue they want you coming back and spending money. They want you to post pictures, but I generally believe that they want you to catch. And yeah, they want you to come back, right? Spend more money. I get that. Who wouldn't want? But it's not, from what I've gathered here so far, it's not all hush-hush secret. Do you know what I mean? Which, as we all agree, a lot of carp waters can be like that. So I was quite taken back by the help and advice that people were trying to throw at me. But anyway, so we've got 24 hours on this lovely pit. Let's see what happens. Hoping for a banger. Let's go. As day one drawed to a close, with not a touch, there was just one thing on my mind. Yes, not a very healthy dinner, I must admit, but it was nice, even if I forgot sauce. Now, people who know me very well know that that's devastating for me. Anyway, we sit here in darkness. This is around 6 o'clock now, waiting for that bite. Now, my camera is aimed towards my rod, so if we do get a bite, you'd see it. And we did catch, and the first fish, well, just have a look. Well, not everyone's cup of tea. I've had a bream, not a bad size bream actually. Nice bronze one. Shot the bobbin up. I thought, here we go. But no, not a bad scrap on the carp rods, but not what we're after. So let's get this back, get another PVA made up, and see if we can get something better. Or scrap the better, James. We want a carp. So wrapped up 8.5 wraps again. Got it pretty much bang on the spot, and hoping that, well, a little bit naively, that would be the only bream in the session. Oh guys, another bream. Quite an erratic bite. Loving them double cell boilies. This is the moment where I think, probably should have just stayed with the solid bags and not spombed a load of bait over. Ouch. I don't mind catching bream, but I much prefer them at distance on a feeder when I'm actually targeting them. But hey, it's not a blank. Would there be any more? Please no. What's that I can see in the cradle? Okay guys, I'm absolutely getting hammered by these guys. But look at that bream. Even carp anglers, you surely should be able to appreciate a bream like that. 7-8 pound. I'll let you decide whether you do or not. But for me, that's a cracking bream. If that was on a feeder rod, that would be a good bit of sport. But it's time to get off the spot. I've moved one rod right out into central position, as the owner suggested, with a small PVA. I'm going to get this rod down the margins, because as soon as a bait goes in, it's ping, ping, ping from these. And as much as I don't mind them, on carp gear, they're not much fun. And we're after carp, so let's get this one back. I think that one's going to go in the margins, so let's see if that can produce a carp. As I was tightening up my drag, look what boshes out in front of me. A little bit of hope for the day ahead. Let's slow that down and play that again. I just want to quickly take a second to tell you what's coming up. I'm actually going to fish for something I've always wanted to fish for. So, if you're a bit of an all-rounder like me and you want to see what this, particularly a winter species is, stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. I cannot wait to get on the bank next week and target these. Also, got a social with my friend Wes. He can always produce a carp. So, you don't want to miss that either. Sadly on this trip though, that carp boshing in front of me was as close as I was going to get. It's 5-0 to the carp. But I won't let it deter me. I'll be back again with a vengeance to show you one on the bank. Take care and tight lines.